Some questions, but I'm here with Dr. Kara Powell at Fuller Seminary, and Kara, Fuller's been doing some really cool stuff on this youth transition progress, and you guys have been leading the way. And so tell us kind of where are we at in the process, and what can we look forward to seeing and hearing?
Yeah, well, a few years ago we received a grant from the Lilly Endowment that's allowed us to study about 400 youth group graduates to try to figure out what happens to them after they graduate. We know from other research that at least a third, if not close to half of them, really struggle. These are the kids who are in my youth group and your youth group. They struggle with their faith and connecting with the faith community when they graduate. So we're trying to figure out what parents and youth leaders and even the kids themselves can do now that'll help them have what we call sticky faith after they graduate. You know, one thing that I can hit on is we're seeing with our students just how good and important it is for them to talk about their doubts in high school. You know, a lot of times we as adults tend to think that doubts are somehow dangerous or they're toxic. But what we're seeing is that the more students have the freedom to express their doubts and explore their doubts, there's a relationship between doing that and having a longer term and a more sticky, mature faith in college. So when we've shared that with youth pastors, they've said, well, you know, maybe I should intentionally ask the hard questions of kids. And, you know, when a tragedy happens, ask, why would God allow that tsunami or that hurricane or that shooting? Because kids are wondering those questions, and if we as adults aren't a safe place for them to have those discussions, then what we're seeing is that they tend to have a weaker faith after they leave the relative safety net of our ministry. So that's one thing that we're trying to encourage folks to do.
So where do you think we're headed, and how can you know, youth pastors engage with you, Fuller, to find more out about what's going on?
Yeah, good question. Well, these 400 students that I mentioned, we're going to finish our data collection in spring of 2010. So we're going to be sharing more and more research in later 2010 and 2011. But really the best way to stay in touch with our research is to sign up for our free monthly e-journal. If you go to our website, fulleryouthinstitute.org, that's how we share all of our research, whether it's on urban ministry, our justice work, our college transition, our Hurting Kids series. It's all on our website, and you can sign up for
So does it update it periodically so you kind of see where you're at now? Or
well, as we have things to share, we share them through our e-journal. So and there's a whole page on all of our main projects. So you can look at current articles as well as old articles and old audio that we've done.
So if we're praying for this, we're praying for youth pastors, we're praying for students, for parents in this whole transition from high school to college and what happens in between. What do you think the prayer should be?
So nobody's ever asked me that question before. Well, fundamentally, that kids will really know and embrace the gospel. I mean, that's something we're still unpacking, so I can't comment much more about it now. But we're seeing that kids fundamentally don't really know the gospel of grace. They know the gospel of works, the gospel of guilt, and they don't know the gospel of grace. So there's probably no more important thing to pray for than that.
That's good. Thanks, Kara.
You bet.
You guys are doing a great job at Fuller, so keep up the good work.
Thanks.
All right.